Welcome to the Flip Your Life podcast, the go-to podcast to help you flip your life and financial future through real estate. My name is Reilly, and
what's up, guys? It's Vaughn
Bethell, and we're back with another episode. Today is an interesting one because we're in a time of lots and lots of change, lots of innovation, all kind of stuff. It seems like every day the sands can sometimes be shifting under our feet.
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to talk about today is the future of real estate investment. To kind of start us off, my first question to you, Vaughn, is what do you think are some emerging trends right now in the world of real estate that could affect the future of real estate investing?
Okay. Well, one of the biggest ones here in South Carolina is they just banned the art of wholesaling, right? And what that means for those of you who don't know what wholesaling is, there's a lot of people out there, ourselves included, that are really good at finding off-market properties, getting in touch with sellers, and helping them get out of distressed situations by coming up with a mutual agreement that works for both parties and getting that property under contract. Now, where wholesaling comes in, and it's a term of wholesaling, is being able to assign your equitable interest in that contract to another party for a profit, right? So let's say, for instance, you're able to get a property under contract for $50,000, and there is another investor, let's say a fix and flipper, or maybe even a landlord, that was willing to pay $60,000 for that profit. At the end of the day, when everything is said and done and the property closes, the wholesaler walks away with $10,000 for their effort, right? So the work that they put in to find the property, negotiate with the seller, get the property under contract, and then they assigned it, right? So they get what's called an assignment fee. And there's a lot of value to that, right?
Sure.
Because most of the fix and flippers that I know, or landlords, don't have the time or don't know how to get in touch with these sellers and find off-market properties, right? So they just banned that and trying to say that you have to be a licensed real estate professional to do a real estate transaction, right? There's a lot that goes into it. I'm not going to go into the details.
That's an onion with layers and layers.
Exactly. So there's going to be a lot of people that get out of the industry just for that, right? Because the higher the barrier to entry, right, the less people are willing to take the risk.
Yep.
And not that it's really a risk, because we still are doing what we do. It's just that we are closing on properties. So we're not assigning the contract. We're actually closing on the properties.
You're buying it.
We're buying it, right? And we have been for years. So it doesn't really affect as much of what we do moving forward, but it's going to affect a lot of people.
Sure. And one of the things that's nice about it, there's definitely mixed opinions on that. It's, there's as many opinions as there are hairs on my head.
Exactly.
But the reality is one of the pros of that situation, it's not just here in South Carolina too.
Yep.
It's becoming a trend nationwide, mostly because, if we're being real, unscrupulous wholesalers who don't know anything about real estate and have no ethical standard that they're trying to live by.
Yep.
And they were going further than they should with certain things and really getting people in predicaments. And you know how it is. One bad apple ruins a whole bunch.
Exactly.
But the reality is, if you are doing things ethically, and you have been this whole time, you're going to figure out ways to adapt your business model, and it's going to eliminate a lot of that lower tiered competition that you were having to deal with before. And I think it just cleans up the market a lot.
Absolutely. It kind of ties into our first core value of integrity. And it's always doing the right thing no matter who's watching. So there's a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that don't have integrity, right? And like you said, there's always, and no matter what industry you're in, there's always going to be some bad apples that ruin it for the bunch, right? But what we're going to see, and what we're seeing now, is the ones that are doing things ethically and with integrity and doing things the right way are the ones that survive, and not just survive, they thrive, right? So that's one of the things. Another, kind of shift that we're seeing a lot more of is build to rent, right? Which is completely opposite of what we're doing. Yeah. Right. So there's a lot of hedge funds and other investors out there right now that are doing these build to rent communities. Right. Well, the way we look at it, if you look at our first core belief, everybody deserves to be a homeowner should they want to be and can afford to be.
Yep.
Right. So we're trying to get people to stop renting and start owning.
Yep.
Right. So they can start building generational wealth. Well, as an investor, if I'm doing build to rent communities or even build to rent houses, I'm going against what I believe in, right?
Sure,
that purpose, cause, and passion. So
that's your core belief.
My core belief is we want to give people that pathway to homeownership, right? So we want them to become homeowners. And so you're seeing that a lot more, and especially here in the Greenville area, right? Mm-hmm. In the Greenville MSA, we're seeing new communities being built every single corner, right? Yeah. Everywhere you go. You can't drive a mile really without seeing a community being built.
20-acre tract of land with red dirt.
Yep. But I'm seeing a lot more build to rent communities over the last year, right? And so, yes, these build to rent communities are great for the investors and the developers that are involved as far as financial gains, right? But what is it doing for the people that are in the houses, right? And not saying that every single person that rents wants to be a homeowner.
Sure, some people just want to rent. And
but
Grant Cardone just wants to rent.
Exactly. But a lot of people that rent, they want to be homeowners.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just somebody won't give them the opportunity, right? Yeah. So, that's another big trend that we're seeing.
That's awesome. So, guys, I don't know if one of the things I hear in that is the American dream is not dead if you reach out to REI Junkies. 100%. There's a pathway to own the house, not just be a perpetual renter, if you want to be and can afford to be. So that's good. Are there any other trends that are sticking out to you that could shake up the real estate market? I know for a long time there was a big buzz around AI and crypto and how that might shake up. Do you think that's still proven to be a formidable force in real estate, or has that proven itself to kind of fade out so far? What do you think?
Yeah, so let's talk about crypto, right? And the crypto investments, it really comes down to risk tolerance, right? So what we see is like real estate, stands the test of time as being one, if not the best investment and most secure investments you can make, right? But if you look at portfolio diversification, which we've talked about before, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. So crypto being one that I've seen people make a lot of money in, and I've seen people lose a lot of money in. So it comes down to risk tolerance, and it also comes down to knowledge. For me, I don't invest in crypto because I don't know it.
Exactly.
Right. And I'm not going to invest in something that I don't know.
Yep.
Right. So from an investment standpoint, you're always going to have different avenues that you can invest in. And we preach and we promote portfolio diversification. So I really don't see the crypto market, as far as I know and what I understand of it, really changing the real estate investment landscape. Okay. Right. Other than making, maybe some millionaires or multimillionaires, or maybe eventually some billionaires that'll have more money to invest in real estate.
One of the things that's always been interesting to me, which I don't know, this is probably still decades from ever actually being implemented, but the idea of transactions of real estate being recorded on blockchain and then being traded via what do you call them, NFTs? That way, we do a title search when we buy a piece of real estate to determine whether the chain of title has any liens against it, make sure it's clear. I know there's a talk a while back about putting that process on the blockchain. But that's one of the reasons I was asking. That got a lot of hype there for a minute. And then it just seems like the legalities of working that out in the old school legal system that we still have probably is preventing that from coming to fruition anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I don't really know much about that. Okay. Right? And so for me, I'm not going to invest in it if I don't know it, right? Okay. Unless I just have somebody that I really, really trust and I know they're dialed in and they know what they're doing and they have a deep track record and a lot of experience. Sure. But for me, my focus is on creating homeowners.
So I just heard you share a little nugget of wisdom that you're willing to invest with someone who knows an asset really well and has a deep track record and a lot of experience.
Absolutely.
You're willing to invest your money with that person.
Yeah.
I know someone who has a deep track record with real estate and a lot of experience. Yeah. Huh. I think it's a guy who likes to wear purple shirts and black hats.
Absolutely.
So good to know. Anyway, speaking of that, what are some opportunities, considering the future of real estate and how things are kind of shifting and changing? What are some opportunities you think that people that want to maybe private lend, we've talked about that before on here. What are some opportunities they should look out for, either with you or wherever? What are things they need to kind of be aware of in this landscape?
Yeah, the landscape is truly doing a thorough due diligence and vetting not only just the deal, right? Because that's going to be your security, but the individual you're lending with or investing with, right? So, when you invest, especially as a real estate investor, it's a partnership. Right. And a partnership, like in business, is like kind of like a marriage.
Yeah.
Right. And you want to know who you're getting in bed with, right? No pun intended, but you want to know who you're working with, right? So you want to make sure that they have a good track record. They have the experience, right? So you're asking them, what deals have they done? Or do they have proof, right? Proof of concept. But you also want to know what kind of person they are, right? What their core values are, what their core beliefs are, and truly how they're made up, right? Where their heart is. So those are the things that I look at when I'm looking at potentially investing with somebody.
Cool.
Now, I'm an investor myself, and I invest in real estate. But one of the biggest things, just like everybody else, you want your money to work for you. So the money that I make in real estate, I like to invest in passive income opportunities.
Sure.
So I've lost a lot of money over the years by not vetting or thoroughly vetting some of the deals I've done or the partnerships I've had. Right. So you live and you learn
that lesson the hard way.
And we all make failures, right? Yep. The question is, are we failing forward? Right.
Yep.
As long as we're failing forward and learning from our mistakes, more power to you. Right. Because you just can't avoid mistakes. Right. Yep. You can't avoid failures in life. There's going to be many failures, but as long as you learn from them and continue to move forward and fail forward, that's the things that we're looking for.
Love it. Very cool. Well, if anybody's watching, they're intrigued by the future of real estate, they want to kind of stay involved with the community so they can kind of keep up to date, maybe learn a little bit more. And then when they feel comfortable, maybe being a part of things, how would you recommend someone get involved in the community?
Well, get involved with us. One, start following us, right? So follow this YouTube video, follow us on the podcast platform that you're listening to this on right now. But also go to our website, reijunkies.com. There's a lot of opt-ins in there that you can opt in for a free report, or you can just join our mailing list. We also have a new feature where you can join our text list, right?
Okay.
So if you, I believe they're
I prefer text over email myself.
Absolutely. Everybody's in their phone all the time, right?
Yeah. Emails are annoying, texts aren't.
You get communication right there on your phone, ASAP, as soon as we send it out. But there will be a QR code overlapped on this video that you can scan to join our text list. Or if you're listening to this, you can text the word partner, PARTNER, to 864-477-7770 to join our text list.
Very cool. Well, guys, like I said, if you guys are interested in kind of learning more, kind of staying involved with what REI Junkies is up to, so that, maybe one day you want to partner on some of these deals, or, just want to stick around the community and learn more, definitely text those numbers, scan the QR code, go to the website, make sure you just do those simple things so that you can kind of be up to date, know what's going on, keep abreast of what's happening in real estate. So I think this has been super informative, especially, people need to be aware of what's happening because things shift and move so fast in the age of AI and technology and all that. So
absolutely,
been good stuff. I appreciate it, Vaughn.
Thank you, Reilly.
Yep. And remember, flip your money, flip your life, flip your future. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.